Jay Rose from TDT. I just wanted to talk today about one-on-ones and how important they are to building relationships. As we focus on relationships in everything that we do, whether it's with customers, whether it's with our vendors, whether it's with our employees, or most importantly, with our own relationships at home. It's important to recognize that sometimes we talk to our employees or whatnot in a group environment, and group training is very effective. But the most effective is one-on-one. That's where you can customize as far as what the needs are for your employee, whether it's skill development, maybe it's just listening to them as they talk out something that they're going through, as a challenge. The statistics are 30% of every single employee has something major going on in their life that's going to affect how they perform or how they act while they're at work. This is especially true, if not higher, during the holiday season. This is a time when people are obviously very excited, but there's a lot of stresses that come with the holidays. Stress to financial stresses. It could be people getting sick. It could be just feeling a loneliness, or who knows what's going on in their personal lives. But as a manager, as a coach, or just as a friend, you need to be aware of this so we can help our friend or colleague or employee or vendor or customer through this emotional time. By doing this, one-on-ones are designed to basically just get you and that person together. Now, ideally, the most effective way, just like with customers, is in person. So whether or not that's a 5 or 10 minute scheduled meeting at a certain time each day, you should do this with every one of your employees. Maximum usually it's 5. So if you're a GM or owner, you would meet with your 5 department managers. If you're a manager, then maybe you meet with 2 or 3 or 5 of your next level employees. And then you can talk to everybody in a group format. But the key is to sit down with them, make sure that you're not across the table, make it non-threatening. Most importantly, shut your phone off and listen. Ask questions about, in the beginning of a one-on-one, you should be asking about how's everything going, how's things at home, or if you know their significant other or kids or hobbies or whatever they do. And it kind of gets them to kind of relax a little bit and defocus on whatever is bothering them at work or whatever it may be. And once that happens, now they are able to loosen up. They're talking about them now. You're building rapport. Now, again, don't make this too long. Don't make it a half an hour, bitch session, but listen to what's going on and then physically shift and say, that's great. I'm glad that you're working on that, or that's great. You had a great bowling game or whatever it is that they mentioned on a personal level, and then shift to business. Talk about what they have going on today for appointments, for customers calling back if it's collections, promise to pays, customers that are coming in for service, if you're in the customer repair process, whatever it may be. Just that way you're getting data, but you're also finding out if they're prepared for their day and how they feel about that, or if there are any challenges. Talk about if you had a really tough customer lately, what happened. And that way you can actually bring up, if you don't already have something from a previous videotape or a situation that you want to review with them, you want to just bring up that skill development opportunity. Maybe it was a customer that you happen to overhear somebody saying, hey, what's your down payment? And they didn't answer it properly and the customer left if you weren't able to get over there right away. So the key is that's your opportunity to individualize your training and coaching. Remember, this is not a negative thing, but you can still constructively coach them with skill development without criticizing them. Criticizing is when you say, what were you thinking? That was stupid. That was wrong. So how you say it, you can be, nice about it and just say, hey, I heard this and here's something to think about. When the customer says, I want to think it over, you can say, you're thinking about the program. Was it the car? Or maybe it was your budget. If you're looking to increase sales, lower your repossessions, and increase your profits this year, look no further than Collateral Protection from CP Insurance Associates. They were the #1 and first collateral protection approved in Texas. And I have them in my dealerships and I see the results. So if you want the best in service, in claims payments, and also making sure that you increase your profitability to help you sell more cars, give Bill Murphy a call, the number below. Which one? Oh, and then they pop out the real objection instead of just letting them leave with, I want to think it over. That's just an example. But demonstrate the right technique that they should have used as something to think about. Not, you better do this or else. Otherwise, you're just going to pile on to their frustration. So use it as an opportunity to build rapport with the people in your life that are important to you or should be important to you, like your employees, like your customers, like your vendors, and most importantly, the people at home. But make sure you eliminate distractions. Make sure you're not looking at your phone, and pretending to listen like, yeah, sure. What else you got? And that's a trap that we fall into at home. So during this holiday season, make sure that you schedule the time, give the time back to your relationships, the people that are important to you, and ask questions and listen. And you don't have to fix everything. You don't have to, fix all their problems, but just understand where they're coming from. And sometimes you may need to, if they break down and all of a sudden you find out they're just a complete mess about what's going on in their personal lives, at 9:30 in the morning, maybe you send them home. Maybe you find out they're so sick and, they get the normal flu or whatever. You don't want them being contagious to everybody. Just send them home if that's something you think will help. Because having them sit there all day complaining, crying or snot bubbles coming out of them isn't really going to help your team. All it's going to do is be a distraction. So again, listening to them, don't be Dr. Phil, don't try to fix their marriage in a 10-minute one-on-one. But the key is making sure that you take and make the time to be with those that are important to you and your team, whether it's at home or at the dealership. If for some reason you're traveling, like when I go on the road, I'll still do a one-on-one with the key dealers or managers in my dealership. I'll call them by phone, ideally in person, but if you can't, by phone. The worst way to keep in touch and build relationships is through text messaging. That should just be reserved for just FYI information. So back to one-on-ones, schedule them, make sure there's no excuses, eliminate distractions, ask questions and listen to the person. If you have an opportunity to work some skill development opportunities in there, great. But the key is just be present. So if you like this video, go ahead and forward to someone you think that might help. And if you like it, just click below and we'll see you on the next one. Total Dealer Training trains and coaches dealership personnel through online, in-dealership, and live workshops. We educate, motivate, and develop the skills of your team to improve results while allowing them to be the best possible versions of themselves. If you want more information about our services, visit our TotalDealerTraining.com website, or you can call me directly at 904-955-7666. We can customize a training solution that'll meet your dealership needs. Look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, or comment so you can be notified when future videos are released.